Hello friends, welcome to my channel Fusion SCM Learning. If you are first time viewer on my channel, subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon to get latest update from Fusion SCM Learning. In today's demonstration, we are going to learn how to create OTBI report in Oracle Fusion and how to assign these securities to it. So to create the OTBI, so what is the OTBI? First of all, we are having this question in our mind. So OTBI is basically Oracle Transactional Business Intelligence, which provides business user to create their own reports without any coding, without any technical knowledge. They have to select the subject areas. Subject areas, nothing but the transactional areas where user has to select the columns and do the drag and drop. It will automatically create the reports. They can do customization. They can associate the formulas. They can associate the logos. They can do color coding. They can do more with the OTBI. So to create the OTBI, we have to go to the navigator, and within the navigator, what we have to do? We have to go to the tools. Within the tools, what we have the reports and analytics. So we have to click on that. Once you click on the reports and analytics, it will open the UI, the window, where you have to click on browse catalog. Once the moment you click on browse catalog, it will open the Oracle BI catalog, where you can see that Oracle Transactional Business Intelligence. So this is the UI of OTBI, where you can create your own custom reports. And this is the path where you can develop your BIP reports too. For BIP, you have to write a SQL queries, and based on that, you have to create your data model, you have to create your report template, and then you can use it. But for the OTBI, you don't need to do that. For OTBI, you have to select your respective subject areas, and based on your requirement, you drag and drop your columns. You have to make sure whenever you are dragging and dropping, you select the correct dimensions, and that dimension, if having the dependency, you selected the appropriate dimension to it. Otherwise, it will give you an error. Now, any of the OTBI which you are creating, you have to keep it within the share folder. So that you have to keep in your mind. Within the share folder, you have the custom folder where you have to keep your all the reports. So within the custom folder, you have to keep all your custom related reports, so that whenever there's a upgrade from the Oracle, it won't get impacted. Now to create the OTBI, what you have to do? You have to go to the new, and then you have to click on analysis. Once the moment you click on analysis, you can see that there are the option to select the subject areas. Based on your requirement, you select your subject areas. So we'll also select our subject areas. So to select, let me select one of the subject area. So I will select inventory. Yes. So let me select, yeah. So inventory balance real time. So it provision to user to see the real-time data available into their system. So that is the most important feature of it. So I selected the one subject area. You can add more subject areas too. Only thing is that you have to make sure that you are selecting the data, the column from the same dimensions. If you are selecting different dimensions from the different subject area and you are clubbing together, it won't work. So let's assume if inventory balances, you want to select any of the data from the catalog. In other subject area, you have to select from the same dimensions. If there is any gap, then you will face the error. Now, I selected the inventory balances. Now, what is my first thing? So I want my inventory organization. So I will click on inventory organization. You can see that address detail if I want on the report, inventory address line, inventory organization code. So I want inventory organization code to be there. So simply I will select that particular dimension and I will just select and drop it. Once the moment I drop it, you can see that inventory organization code. If you want to change the column name, you can do that as well. So we'll learn in detail all the aspects. So now I selected the inventory organization code. If you want inventory organization business unit name, you can do that. So I am putting at the first the inventory organization business unit name. After that, inventory organization code. Now, after that, I want my inventory organization name. So I selected that. Now, after that, what I want item to be there. For that item, you have to click on item and you have to go to the main. Within the main, we want item numbers to be there. So what we have to do, we have to select the item. So we'll select that item name. So you can see that I selected the item name. Once I selected the item name, after that, what is our next data? The sub-inventory. So I will select the sub-inventory. Within the sub-inventory, you have to select the descriptions for that, and you can select your sub-inventory. Now, after that, what is the dimension? That is your locator. So you have to select the locator. So I'm selecting the locators. So for that, I selected the locators. Now after that, what is my next dimension? After locator, it will be lot and then it will be serial. So I will enter the lot. And then after that, it will be serial. So I will select the serial number. So this is how you have to make it, and you have to understand that what is the dependency and how you want that data to be selected from the each subject area based on your dimension, based on your requirement. You can do that. And then what we want the on hand. So for that, you have the on hand quantity and the quantity. So I'm selecting the on hand quantity. What is the on hand quantity is available. Now after that, so there are on hand quantity and the secondary on hand quantity. So if you are having multiple unit of measurements and based on that you are receiving it, then you can see that secondary on hand quantity as well. The quantity and on hand quantity is the same. Now I added and selected each dimension to the subject from the subject area. Now after that, what I have to do, I have to go to the result. Once I click on the result, it automatically generate the output. You can see that it's retrieving the data. Please wait. So it is running. It is generating an automated query, and then it will generate for me a report. So you can see that it generated the reports. So based on the access, you can see all those data. So you can see that inventory organization business unit name, inventory organization code, inventory organization name, and then the subinventory. What is the subinventory descriptions? And then description. So locator is not there, lot is not there, serial number is not there. If it will be there, then it will fetch that data, and then on a quantity. You can see that. Now this report is working fine. Now how we can customize it further? So to customize, you have to click on the pencil icon. Once you click on the pencil icon, it will go to the layout, where if you want, you can do the further customization. So you can see that over here, once I selected the pencil icon, it will prompt me to change table prompt, section, tables, right? Anything if you want, you can change it. Anything you want to be excluded from this, you can do that. Just simply you have to select and put it into excluded. If you want on top anything to be prompt, you can do that. So it is also be a drag and drop. So from the column and measures, you have to select that criteria and you have to drop it. So this is how the layout based on your business requirement, you can do that. So let me select the one of the criteria. So you can see that inventory organization. Now inventory organization code is coming, and you can see that business unit is coming on top. So this is how you can design the OTBI output based on your business requirement. You can select how you want to see the layout of your OTBI report. Now there are multiple options. So print this analysis if you want to print it. Then there will be a, the export. So if you want to export this analysis, you can do that. Then there will be a, the preview. So if you want that to be previewed, you can do that. And then there will be a duplicate view. If you want to duplicate view, you can do that. Then there will be a rename view. If you want this view to be renamed, you can do that. Then the refresh the result of the current analysis. So if you want to refresh it, you can simply refresh. If there is any data updated in the database, it will be updated over here. Then you can see that new calculated measures. If you want to add, you can do that. New group. And then what we have, new calculated items. And then the table view properties. So if you want to change any of the properties for that particular report, you can do that. So we'll learn about that as well. So let it be. I'm not changing any data for now. So now we want this to be customized. So for that, I click on the view properties. Now you can see that fixed headers with scrolling content and content paging. So data viewing, how you want that to be viewed based on your requirement, you can do that. Then maximum width and the height you can set as well. Display folder and columns heading. So you can select. So only columns heading you want, separate rows, folder column wherever needed, right? You can do that. So style we have selected. Now click on OK. Now you can see that title, right? So added view, if you want to add the image, you can do that. So I clicked on the add it. Now the title. So I want Fusion test inventory balance on hand. So I entered the title of the report. Now display saved names and then the logo. So logo you can customize, you can upload your own. So I am selecting over here. So let me select. So I'm selecting the existing any of the, so you can see that. Now at the bottom area, it will preview, it will provide you the preview to validate how your report will looks like. Then the subtitle, if you want, you can put it. If not, leave it. So this is your main title and this is one your subtitle. And then started time. So if you want that time to be displayed while getting the data, while running the OTBI report, you can select whether you want display time, date and time. So I'm selecting display date and time. So you can see that time run, this is the date, and then what is the time. Now you can set, so let's assume I am the IT technical team, support team from the technical side, and I am building any of the report for the business user. I can add over here the help URL so that whenever there's a error or there's any problem, user can directly reach out to or log the support system and log the ticket on the behalf of that. So you, if you want, you can add it over here. So I'm adding, let me add. So I'm adding some dummy test.com, test support.com. Okay, so you can see that I added for the demo purpose. The logo you can select, you can own it. So I selected from the list of value. You can upload your images from here itself. You can do that. Now, once you're done, you have to click on done. Once the moment you click on done, you have to save it. Once you save, so we'll save later. Let me first brief you. So you can see that Fusion test inventory on it, the time run, and then the logo, right? You can see that. Now, after that, if you want format container to be updated, you can do that. So horizontal alignment, vertical alignment, background color, if you want, you can select. So I'm selecting this one. And then the border. So what will be the border position? Default system, custom, you can choose the colors as well. So based on your requirement, you can do multiple, the customization. So looks and feel will get changed. So you can see that. So there are multiple ways to customize, to create look and feel of your OTBI. And you don't need to have any technical expertise to create your OTBI report. Now you can see that there will be question mark. Why it is coming? Because we have added the URL. So if you click on that, because since that is not valid, now you can see that it's giving me testsupport.com. So if it's support URL, it will prompt and redirect to user to the support system. They can log the ticket and you can rectify it, and that's how you manage your business. This is most interesting feature. Now, column also, if you want, you can do that. And for that, there is also BS sales. So if you want to be customized, you can do that. Then Copy cell format if you want, that also you can do. So I am changing some different color so that you see a feel of it. Let me do that. I'm selecting some different color and then I selected. Now you can see that the report output background will get changed. Now, if you want, as I mentioned, right, the width and height to be set based on your business requirement, you can do that. Now, what we have else? Now for the tables, right? As we mentioned, so table prompt, section, you can do customization as you wish, whatever you want, you can do that. Then columns label on and off. So if you want column labels to be displayed, it will display. Otherwise, you can off and on rollover. So based on your requirement, you can select that. Now I will go to the criteria, and over here you can see that there will be setting icon. So wherever you see, everywhere you see the setting icon, where you want sort, whether you want sorting based on the business unit, ascending, descending, like that. Any formula if you want, you can add that. Column properties, right? What it? So column properties, if you want column properties to be changed, any image if you want, you can do that. You can select any of the image for that, for the particular column, you can do that. And then there will be the color. So let me select so that you can take a look of the change. So I am changing, and then I will select all the borders. Looks like that. Then there will be the size. So if you want, then fonts, right? So fonts default system, or you want Arial black. So you can select the multiple options. So I want it to be Times New Roman. So I select it. So there are multiple uh, the customization options available. So you can explore, you can play around with it. Now column format. So you can see that value separation. So what is it? Value separation is, so basically you want it to be suppress or repeat. Means inventory organization view is applicable for multiple inventory organizations. So you want it to be displayed once time, and then inventory organization you don't want to be repeated, you can select the suppress. If you want that each value to be repeated multiple times, you can select the repeat. So that I will also show you how it impact and what is the significance, importance of it. Now there is also option. So column formatting, custom heading. So if you want custom heading, you can change. So I want only it to become as a organization, and then column heading I will add only business unit name, so that you can see a feel how we are changing and it's impacting your data. So I select it, I click on OK. Once I click on OK, now I will go to the result, and you can see that business unit name, and you can see that logo is coming. Now you can see that in the inventory organization code, this value is not repeating despite of having multiple items available. So I want this inventory organization code to be repeated multiple times. For that, what I will do, I will go to the criteria, and then what I will do, I will go to the column properties, column format, and what I will do, I will say as a repeat. Once I select and go to the results again, you can see that inventory organization code is repeating. So that is the difference, that what column the data you want to be repeated. Most of the time, that for the easy to filtering inventory organization code, you can prefer the sub-inventory code. You can prefer other respective data. So based on your business requirement, you can do that. Now you can see that, and that is also the whether you want that particular column suppress or the repeated, you can select for that particular column only. So you don't need to worry about the other columns. Now I will again go back to the criteria. I want this to be color. So let me go back and I will select some different color, and then I will simply click on OK. I don't want to be border. So you can see that. So you can change look and feel as much as you can. You can do that. So that is really wonderful functionality released by the Oracle. You can see that on-hand column. So I want that on-hand column to be colored. So I will go to the criteria, and then again I will go to the last and then on-hand, and I will go to the column properties, where I will select the background color, some different color. I select it, and then border I will select, and I will do in a black color. So you can see that the difference is, if I click on the result, you can see that, and if I scroll, you can see that. So borders, this is how it created the borders. So the look and feel, anything you can change, anything you can customize within this layout. Now after that, what you have to do, once you create it, you finalize your report. After that, you have to save. Now once you click on the save, it will prompt where you want it to be saved. So now you can see that share folder. So whether share folder within the custom folder you want to save it, you can do that. So let me save somewhere and say I want it to be saved. So I want it to be saved within the share folder. And then what I will do, here is an option to create a new folder. So within this share folder, I am clicking Fusion Next Gen Learning, and then click on OK. Once I click on OK, you can see that it's going to be saved within the share folder and Fusion Next Gen Learning folder. I will set inventory on hand. If you want description, you can do that. Otherwise, leave it. So I selected and saved the record. So if you go back to the catalogs, so I will click on the catalogs, and I will see, you can see that it's saved to the location shared folder Fusion Next Gen Learning. You can see that inventory on hand. If you click on open, it will open the same UI and run the report. So you can see that refresh, print, export, whether you want it to be, briefing book, right? You can add it, because we are within the report and analytics area. So it is allowing us to add it. So this is how it will run, and you can see that. Now I will go back again to the catalog, and I want to make and to enable the security. So to enable, you have to go back to the catalog, and then you can see that there are multiple options to print, whether you want it to be printed into PDF, HTML, export to PDF, Excel, PowerPoint, Wave Archive, and then the data, CSV format, tab delimited. So as per your business requirement, you can do that. You can also schedule it. So once you click on the schedule, you have to enter the frequency that what frequency it will schedule and run the data and send to your email ID, you can do that. Then delete, copy, rename, add to favorite, create shortcuts, archive if you want it to be exported, imported, right? You can do that. And then the properties. And there is a, at the last is a permission. So if you click on the permission, right? Once you click on the permission, where you can control the security. So that is what most of the business organizations looking, that they want their data to be secure, their report not to be share the cross functional entities, like finance cannot view the supply chain operations report, supply chain related reports, and supply chain team cannot view the financial report. So this is how you can make your report to be more contextualized towards the business operations. Now you can see that once you click on that, by default system adding all those accounts, the permissions. If you want it to be deletes, you can delete it. So I want all these to be deleted because I don't want it to be access other than me. So I will delete quickly one by one. So I am deleting all the existing permissions. So let me delete it, all the permissions. Now I deleted it. Now there is a no one can access this report other than me. But you are having the question that since you have not added the user, how it is possible that other than the Fusion user, nobody can access. So for that, we have to assign the user. So for that, you can see that there is a plus icon. So you have to click on plus icon and then you have to search your member. So for search, whether the list you want applicable application roles, you want catalog groups, you want user, or you want for all. So I just want, you can see that I have entered my username and then I will click on search. So you can see that it is giving me Fusion legal user, that is the account. I will simply click on move. You can see that. So that this particular OTBI report is accessed by only Fusion legal user. No one can access it. Now, if you see at the bottom, there is a permission, set permission to. So open, full control, modify. So I am giving full control. What it means, if you give the full control, I can edit it, I can play around with it, I can do whatever I feel as per my requirement. If you click on modify, only modify, I can do only modify. If I click on open, I can view. If no access, nobody can access, means this user cannot access it. And custom, based on that, your custom, you if you want, you can do that. So now, since I have given the full control, I will click on OK. So now you can see that only this user, and then you can see that this folder having the log, right? So no one can access other than me. After that, I will have to simply click on OK. So now I have associated this report to the Fusion legal user and Fusion legal user can access it. Now we'll learn after creating the OTBI, how we can associate this OTBI to the UI and make it available so that I can access it from the UI. Otherwise, I have to go to the report and analytics and run it. That is not the good idea. So for that, there is a provision. So let me go back to the UI and where I will go to the home. So once I clicked on the home, how to access your report for that. So let's assume this is related to inventory. So I have to go to the supply chain execution and then click on the inventory management. Once the moment I click on inventory management, what I have to do, I have to access my report and assign that reports to it. So for that, you can see that it's open the UI, and then there will be a reports and analytics option available. So I will click on that, and then you can see that shared reports analytics. So now over here you can see that there are shared reports. The seeded one is available, but not mine report available. So for that, you can see that there is a setting icon. So you have to click on setting icon. Once the moment you click on setting icon, it will open that the report to work area mapping UI, where you have to click on plus icon, and then you have to redirect to your folder, and then you have to select. So I selected all, share folder, and then I will click on my folder. So let me search my folder. So I am clicking. So let's search. So you can see that Fusion Action Learning. Once the moment you search your folder, you have to expand that, and then you have to select your inventory on it. So that is what we have added. And then you have to click on apply and click on OK. Once the moment you're done, you can see that that particular report got added within the reports to work area mapping. And then simply you have to click on save and close. After that, if you see within this here reports and analytics, you can see your reports added to the UI and you can access it. So let's expand it and we'll see how we can run the report from the UI itself. Now you can see that I have expanded the shared reports and analytics, and you can see that on top inventory on it. So simply I have to click on inventory on it, and then you can see that there are multiple options. So view, edit, and then the more. Since I'm having the full control, that's why I can see all these options available. So I want it to be view. So you can see that it will open new UI where it will run and it will give us the output. So it is running. Now you can see that your reports available. You can see that on it, serial number, everything. Since my items are not lot in serial control, so I cannot have this data. If I'm having this data, I can see that. Now after that, if I want to add it, I can do add it. It will redirect to me to the report and analytics, the OTBI area, where I can add more columns to this report. And then there is an option more. So if you click on more, you can see that inventory on it. So it will also redirect you to the catalog area where you have your reports. And then if you click on the add it, system will prompt you the warning that really you want this to be open. You simply click on yes. Once you click on yes, you can see that edit analysis, inventory on it, select column. So once you select, so you want business unit, now inventory organization code, right? What data you want to be hidden, you can do that. And there will be, drill and then navigate to the transaction and all those interactions. Based on that, you can use. Now I don't want to do anything. Now I simply click on next. Once I click on next, then you can see that title. If you want graph, then you can add graph. So we are adding graph to be there at the bottom, and then table above the graph. So if you want, it to be bottom or above, you can do that. So I don't want. If you want preview to be there, you can click on preview. It will show you the preview of your data, how it looks like. You can see that this is how I created the reports, and now at the bottom label I added the analytics part. So you can see that the quantity got added. So you can see that once the moment you click on preview, either you enable, then it will automatically prompt the preview over here, and if you click on that, it will open the new UI where you can view that. So I added below the table the bar. Now I will click on next. What I want further, table layouts. So if anything I want up and down, right? What it means, that description to be up, forward or backward, the columns, you can do that. So description to be displayed before the supplementary, and supplementary to be displayed after the description, you can do that. So simply you have to select your particular column, and from there you have to do up and down. That's all. Now I will click on next, and then you can see that vary color by. So if you want this option, you can select, and then you can see that it will be vary based on the color by the on-hand. So as per the on-hand availability, it will be vary. The analytics part, right? And then the group by. So this is group option available. Now click on next. This is sorting and filtering area, where you can add your sorting criteria based on that. What is your column is sorting for your report output, you can add based on your requirement. So you can play around with this. This is really most interesting feature available in the OTBI area. You can explore, you can play around, because this is not one day task. You have to do multiple times. Then you will be able to explore the feature and you are able to understand. Now I not going to add anything within the sorting and the filtering area. I will simply click on next. And then there's an option that if any of the column I want to highlight, so I can do that. So I want to highlight on-hand quantity, because that is the most critical for me for this report. So I simply clicked on that, and then there's an option. So you can see that status column, that is on hand, threshold. So basically, what is the minimum and the maximum criteria. So based on that, it will display all these colors. You can see that. So I am selecting the criteria, that is, the 100, and then I am selecting the criteria will be 500 for the threshold. So based on that, you can see that system automatically giving me the criteria. So below the 100 or 100 will go into red, and then between 100 to 500 will go into yellow, and then above the 500 will go into greener zone, so that you can easily identify your on hand based on the threshold, whatever you have defined based on your business requirement. So it will be easy for you to do your analysis. So that is most interesting feature. Now after that, if you want more to be added, you can add. If that kind of filtering, the highlighting criteria is available into your reports, you can do that. Now I'm having only one criteria, that's why it is not allowing me to add one more column to it. Now what I have to do, I have to click on next. And then you can see that it's giving me analysis name as an inventory on hand. Yes. Description, if you want, you can add. And then I will add it to be updated so that you can see the difference of this report. And then simply I will click on submit. Once the moment I click on submit, analysis saved successfully, and I will click on OK. And once the moment it's done, I have to simply either, if you want, right, this report to be saved into different folder, you can create from this UI as well the folder. If you want to refresh, you can do that refresh. Otherwise, simply click on cancel. Now, I close that window since I have already created and edited the existing report. Now I cannot see that report to be available over here. So same way, I have to go to the shared and report and analytics and then setting. And then I have to click on the plus icon and then redirect to my specific folder. And then I can see that. So I will go to my folder and then I will expand it. And then I can see that inventory on hand updated. This is one which we have added just now. I will click on apply and click on simply OK. Once the moment I click on apply and OK, you can see that it got added. And then simply I will click on save and close. Now after that, we'll run that report and we'll see how it differentiating the criteria and how it is useful for us to validate. So I'm expanding the shared reports. Now you can see that it got expanded and you can see that inventory on hand updated one. So that is our second version of this report. Now I will click on view. Once the moment I click on view, it will open into new UI and you can see that the graph is coming. And then if I scroll to the right, you can see that all those data is available. So this is how you can utilize the features of this OTBI and you can create your own reports and help your business. In upcoming releases, we will learn how we can make all these reports to be available to the mobile UI and we can provide provision for business to see their reports and access their reports from the mobile, as well as we will learn more into this OTBI area. You can play around with it. And if you are having any questions, feel free to put a comment in the video section. Once we get the comment, as soon as possible, we'll respond to you accordingly. If you are having other questions, feel free to reach us on our registered email ID, fusionnextgenlearning@gmail.com. If you are having other ideas where you want us to release a video, please drop us all those ideas in the video comment section or drop us an email on our registered email ID. Thank you. Thank you for watching my channel, Fusion SCM Learning. Keep subscribing, keep watching.